Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. I wanted to talk about this one because I've seen this all over the community, the internet, people in the comments and things like that. So I wanted to make a point about this because it gets really complicated and there's a lot of like, hey, we need to buy guns, we need to buy ammos. And in fact, you see a lot of the guys in the community talking about this. And I have a different opinion about this. And I want to give you some of the thoughts right here in this video. Before I get into it, if you want to support the channel, obviously you could become a patron. There's a link down there. I truly appreciate that. There's links for Amazon as well. You click in there, buy whatever you want. The channel gets a kickback and doesn't cost you any money to you, right? But the biggest thing you could do for the channel, and it doesn't cost you any money or anything, is just share the video. So share this video somewhere, share the video on Facebook, share the video in a place, wherever place you want to share, because we're going to talk about guns, we're going to talk about home defense, and we're going to talk about some things based on everything that is going on, right? Based on essentially all the peaceful protests and everything that is going on nowadays. Before I get into that, let's hit my intro. Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Again, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you could be notified. Before I even get into this video, I got some notes right here that I want to talk about. But before I get into it, remember this: fear does not come from the Lord. Fear does not come from the Lord, it comes from the devil. The Lord has given us love and a sound mind, right? So don't get too wrapped up about this. Some people are living in fear. You are not meant to live in fear. Really not, right? Keep that in mind as we talk about some of these topics right here. All right. So, like I said, a lot of people are always talking about guns, buy guns, buy guns. We need so many guns. But to me, it's something that I find it kind of silly because the more guns you buy, really, you're not going to build muscle memory. Really, you're not going to master none. So, you may know about every, bunch of different guns, but you don't master any gun in particular. And when you buy one gun and you learn everything about that gun, you become really talented and you become really affected on that firearm. And again, you see our military, they don't get like a bazillion guns, right? They really don't. They get the service rifle, the service pistol, and that's what they get. And they spend the time concentrating and learning that firearm and becoming an effective tool, an effective weapon with that weapon, if you want to put it that way. In fact, they learn everything about it. They learn how to put it apart. They learn how to fix it. They learn how to clean it. They learn how to shoot. I mean, they could do that with their blinds folded. So, or their eyes, right? So, again, as we see all these guys saying, hey, you need to buy guns, you need to buy all this, you need to buy all that, I always think to myself, why? You really need to buy a good gun, a good, reliable, dependable firearm, something that has been around for quite some time. A lot of times people ask the question, how much should I spend on a gun? And I'm thinking to myself, well, how much does your life value? Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good guns out there for a great price. There really are. But at the same time, you don't want to go super cheap, right? You want to get something that forget about the money. We're not talking about the money. We're talking about something that is dependable, reliable, that being around for quite some time, and that it's going to do the job. I carry an MMP shield, and guess what, guys? They were selling them for like 250, and to me, it's just a fantastic firearm, right? So, how many guns can you carry? You're really only going to be able to carry one or two, right? A rifle and a pistol in a survival situation. In your regular life for home defense, you're going to have one gun. It's not like you're going to be running out of your room with a Glock and an AR-15 screaming America. It's just not going to be like that. People get really silly into this and they buy so many guns that this is what happened. You fail or you neglect other sections of your home security plan. Yes, you have 6 rifles and 10 pistols. Congratulations. But you don't have food, you don't have water, you don't have radios, you don't have flashlights, you don't have a sling to hold that rifle. In the case of Kyle, in the shooting, we prove how critical is to have a sling. He fell in the ground. Guess what? His firearm was still attached to his body, right? That was a point that somebody made in the comment. I appreciate that. So again, we don't have none of those things. We don't got extra magazines. We don't have a play carrier or some kind of chest rig where you could carry magazines. You don't have a bell. You don't have a holster. But yeah, you have 10 pistols. You don't even know how to use some of those pistols. I might just have one that you become an expert on it. Now, when I said things like this, people say, well, are you saying that you don't need more guns? Obviously not. Buy however many guns you want. I got a lot of guns, but I'm talking when it comes down to your self defense and, home protection and defending your life. I'm giving you tips about that. Become an expert on your firearm because I'm going to tell you a lot something. I have a ZCP07 that is gorgeous. I love it, but it's a double action, single action pistol. Obviously, it has a hammer, different setup than your striker fire pistols. Obviously, I feel confident that I could work him pretty well. But once again, when you have a gun that you become a master on it, that's what you got to think, what you really got to think. So now, people say all the time, well, you got, like I say, you have to buy guns and this and that. I feel that statement, it makes a lot of people neglect other components of your home security or your personal security. Physical fitness, right? Being able to move, being able to walk, being able to fight. You know why? You got 10 guns, but you can't fight for longer than 5 seconds, right? Because you're out of breath and you can't do nothing. You're probably going to die. Obviously, there's some people out there with medical issues and things like that, guys. Don't get so wrapped up around this, right? So again, you got to be careful when you think about all these guns and all this because I feel that you neglect many other components of your home defense plan. So here's the thing that I always say when it comes to a lot of guns, right? And again, I'm not advocating by any way that you shouldn't buy however many guns you have or one. Buy whatever you want. I love guns. I got a ton of them. But at the same time, I'm trying to understand my home defense plans and my concealed carry system and my self-defense system. I always feel that a person should have several couple different guns. And again, one that you master could be a rifle, could be a pistol, right? And I prefer to have both. I think that a good semi-automatic rifle is always the way to go. I think a good semi-automatic pistol that has a great capacity, right, for home defense and things like that, that you could attach a flashlight or something like that, it is a great, great idea, right? Some people like shotguns. Shotguns are fantastic as well for home defense. And once again, master that firearm. But overall, when it comes to like firearms, if you new into the market and you thinking about what gun should I get, once again, there is, I think, a pretty good debate to talk about a good concealed carry pistol, uh, a good home defense pistol, right, and a good semi-automatic rifle. I think those are critical components right there. And I give you an example how you could share that training. I carry an MMP shield, right? And I also have an MMP9 for home defense. So again, having those two guns, it it allows me to share some of the skills, some of the things that I have to work on because it's kind of like the same platform, very, very close to be the same platform. So that's something that you got to keep in mind. If you're gonna have a concealed carry pistol and have a home defense pistol, having something that is in the same family may allow you to share some of that training, some of the same skills between two platforms. But again, as I look at a lot of guns, I always think, well, a good concealed carry pistol, if you conceal carry, a good home defense pistol. There's people that combine those two into one, like a Glock 19, great pistol for concealed carry, also great pistol for home defense, and obviously a good semi-automatic rifle. But again, I'm trying to become a master on those firearms, if you want to put it that way. Again, there is a lot of things that I feel that a lot of times people neglect when they talk about having a lot of guns. Really neglect. And, I'm going to mention a couple things over here just to think about this. Weapon slide. You ever thought about having a weapon slide? You ever thought about having handheld light, right? Having a light, I prefer both. I prefer to have a weapons light and a handheld light as well. Have you ever thought about having an optic on your pistol, maybe an optic on your rifle, maybe an optic in your shotgun? Maybe buying a good optic is better than buying another gun, because I'm going to tell you, if you can't see the bad guy because you don't have a light, you don't have an optic, you can't defend yourself, right? Sights are super, super important. Identifying the bad guy is extremely important. So if you ever thought about doing those things, right? Extra magazines, about that. A gun belt, a holster. I mean, again, we could go all day long about doing some training, actually buying ammunition that you go to the range and you practice with that gun, right? Again, some guys go like, well, I got 10 guns. Oh, you have 10 guns. Good job, buddy. When was the last time you shot him? Oh, I don't know. Well, I prefer to have two guns that I shoot all the time, and I continue to increase my skills and become a better shooter, right? That's better than having 10 guns. Yeah, you never shot or you never shoot. So if you find yourself in a confrontation, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be able to put rounds on target effectively because you never shoot your guns. You never practice with your gun, right? When was the last time you shot that gun? I don't know, 2 years ago. Well, that doesn't make any sense. That's not helping you for your home defense plans, right? So again, do you understand that training? Do you understand that you have to shoot the gun? Are you practicing your skill? Maybe you take a deadly force class so you could understand what deadly force is. How many guys get in trouble all the time over deadly force? They don't get it. They really don't understand. They think that gun should be the first choice in a confrontation when the gun is the last choice in the confrontation. So understanding that is critical. Again, crazy stuff going on about food, about water, about a generator, about fuel, about medications that you need, about batteries, about a container to store like water or store things that you need, about having home defense barriers that you could put in the house, about having radio for communication, about having ways to gather information, critical phone numbers, about a support team, right? About entertainment for your children. Have you ever been with your children in the house for days at a time and you can't come out? Trust me, having a deck of cards is fantastic. About, learning new skills that could potentially help you survive a survival situation. Those things are critical. So again, why do I mention these things? Because people say all the time, I need more guns. And sometimes in a survival situation, the answer may not be, I need more guns. The answer may be, I need more food. I need more water. I need to learn a skill. I need to do more training. I need to understand deadly force. I need to get in shape. I need to be able to, walk more than 2 blocks. That may be the answer, not just guns. Now, again, for the 3 time, I'm not advocating about not buying whatever guns you want. Buy whatever guns you want. I love guns and all that. I'm just saying, don't get blind by just buying gun and neglect everything else out there. Anyways, what do you guys think? Put comments down below. And as always, God is in control.